All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Halfway Up Podcast. Um, Today we're gonna do something a little different. I want to dedicate this podcast to the ladies, and I want to dedicate this podcast to the ladies because I don't really think there's enough information, enough sources that give women clear information to why men think the way that they do. And what I mean by that is of course, you can hear the perspectives of men on a lot of different platforms. You got my guys' Daily Wrap Up crew. You got Dirty Street Confessions. Of course, there's people like Kevin Samuels, God rest the dead, and so many people, so many platforms of men sharing how they feel and sharing their perspective, right? But rarely do I get to see people say it in a tone that I think is palatable for women. Because one thing that took me a very long time to learn, which I'm glad that I did, is that with women, it's never what you say, it's how you say it. You could be the most articulate man in the world. You could be the most witty, suave guy. It doesn't matter, right? If you do not say it in a way that makes a woman feel like she's in a safe space, then she's not gonna receive it well. And with that being said, I wanted to create a dialogue with the ladies, hopefully that are listening. And I want to make that space for you ladies. I want to create a space that's safe for you on the internet, that I still want to be honest with you. I still want to tell you the truth. I want to tell you exactly what I think you need to hear because some women just don't know. So I want to make this episode about giving women game about how they can understand men and have better relationships with men, but I want to do it in a safe tone. I want to do it in a way where you could feel comfortable and you can hopefully receive the message without being offended. And if you are offended, let's talk about it. Matter of fact, come on to the show. Let's have a dialogue about it because I think it's always okay to disagree, but never okay to argue. I think arguing is a waste of time, although it is very necessary at times. But for the most part, let's just disagree and have a stellar conversation so that people can pull the information and the wisdom that they need from it. So, one thing that I want to clear for the women right now, right away, if he wants to be with you, then he will be with you. And now, when I say be with you, what do I mean? A mutually exclusive relationship. Because there's a lot of confusion between what being in a relationship and dating someone is, right? When you're dating someone, all you're doing is having a good time with that person. That's all you're doing. You're talking to them on the phone, you're texting back and forth, you're FaceTiming, you're kicking it, you're hanging out, you're going on dates. That's dating. When you're in a relationship, you and that person are off the market. You are no longer on the market. So if y'all got dating apps, Tinder, Raya, Bumble, whatever the fuck people be using these days, once you get together and you're in a relationship, you remove your presence from these apps because you don't need to be there any longer because now you guys have each other. But I realized that in the process of a woman being enchanted by a man, thinking that he's handsome, falling in love with his charisma, women forget these definitions and they forget to their own detriment because then they begin to blur the lines. Until a man tells you that he wants you to be his girlfriend, you are not his girlfriend. I'm going to say that one more time. Until a man verbally, clearly communicates to you that he wants you to be his girlfriend, you are not that man's girlfriend. And I know a lot of women really need to hear this because you think that because he calls you all the time, because he invited you over with the guys, because he tells you how hard his day was at work, or he tells you about all the things that he personally struggles with, because he hangs out with you, because he stays the night at your house, because he wants to continue to spend time with you, women will automatically take it upon themselves to be like, that's my man. And then you know what happens when you do that? When you make a decision that you should be making with your partner on your own, you get let down. You get let down because now, as a woman, you are creating expectations of what you think he should be doing as your man. But let's run it all the way back. Until he says that I want you to be my girlfriend, then you are not his girlfriend. So what does that mean? That means that you need to try your best as a woman to pace yourself, to reel it back just a little bit, and remember what we're actually doing. As a woman, the first mistake you make in a relationship is trying to speed something ahead without him. Y'all are holding hands in a relationship. And when you're holding hands with somebody, wherever they go, you go. Y'all walking at the same speed. Do not get so excited about where you think that the direction is that you start running and you let go of his hand. And then you look to the side and be like, where are you? Confused. Why would you be confused? You started running to a direction. He didn't tell you that's where y'all was going. He never gave you the inclination that we was going north. You think the relationship is north, so you just bet I'll meet you there. Nah, you got to walk hand in hand with your man. And that's the only time that you can feel safe and feel secure and comfortable in knowing the status of your current relationship. But until then, don't be making decisions on your own. You need to talk to that man. And if you need to know, if you're confused, then you need to ask him clearly. Ask that man clearly. I'm just trying to give you ladies advice, man, because when I'm dealing with women, there are so many times that I would be talking to her and we vibing, but then, maybe we had plans to go out and then I got to cancel because I got some shit that I got to do. Like I'm the type of man, I'm a very ambitious man. So when I think something is going to come up that's going to better my career or it's going to get me a bag, there's a good chance that I'm going to cancel our plans because not that you're not as important, but to me, I think that this is worth creating the extra time so that I can get ahead in life because my mission is not to be dating you. My mission is to get ahead in life, which is why women like ambitious men in the first place, or so they say, because being with an ambitious man is hard. It takes a lot of sacrifice and it takes a lot of flexibility and understanding. But moments where I had to call out the date because something else came up, women would get so mad and they would get so angry. And justifiably so. I understand that you feel disappointed, you feel let down. You got all pretty, you got all dolled up, washing your face first thing in the morning, you applying the makeup, you getting your nails done, you getting your eyelashes done, you applying the right makeup, you applying the right lipstick. I get it. It costs a lot to maintain the beauty to your standard of beauty. But because you're more invested in the relationship than we ever discussed, you're going to find yourself continuously being let down because you're expecting things that he never signed up for. But you're signing him up for it, though. You're signing him up for it because you've took it upon yourself to decide, this is my man. But that's your first mistake. Your first mistake is deciding that he was your man before him asking you to be his girl. Just like marriage, for the most part, when a marriage happens, it usually happens after a man has got on his knee and given you the ring. The same thing happens in relationships. Until that man is forthcoming and intentional about letting you know that I want you to be my girl, that is not your man. I need you to understand this because this puts you in a safe space. This helps you to understand that whenever you're getting carried away and you're getting lost in his eyes or you're getting lost in the moment and you're having this great time, maybe you're having great sex, maybe you just really enjoy his presence because you need that warm energy in your life right now, you having a good time. But before you get too carried away, you got to talk to your homegirls, revisit the state of the relationship, and remember, did he ever ask me to be his girlfriend? And if the answer is no, then I need you to not take it upon yourself to get carried away and go in places that he hasn't led you. You get what I'm saying? Like I hope y'all understand that because that's something that I used to go through a lot. So I can speak to it. I say that to you because I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to get carried away. And I know that women start creating dreams in their mind, like they see the guy and they start thinking, what if? And they start seeing, oh, like, can I have a kid with him? Or what would it be like if I brought him around my friends? Like, what would it be like? And you just start thinking big and you need to stop thinking big. You need to think like now. Live in the now. Only live in the now. Stop thinking for the future. Until that man say, you my woman, stop thinking about the future because he doesn't have future plans with you. Maybe he just really enjoys your company. Maybe he likes sitting across the table from you and feeling like a man, picking up the check, looking you in your eyes, holding your hand, going for a walk, kissing you, caressing you, hugging you, having his hands around your hips. Maybe he likes that because men have needs too. Just how you'll hear stories about women not really wanting a guy, but she'll keep him around because he gives her attention. That's not her first choice of a guy that she would prefer to be with. But she keep him around because he serves a purpose. Sometimes women, ladies, sometimes for a man, you just serve a purpose. You're not the girl, you're just the girl for right now. And That's okay because sometimes nobody's going to be the one until you find the one. So that means that everybody else that you're dating, every single other person in between time, they're taking up space and you're learning from them and you're growing from you essentially what you're doing when you're dating people is you're testing out your imperfections with them until you get to the one. Essentially what you're doing is you testing out your imperfections. So when the one finally gets here, you got enough practice and you got enough reps in where you know how to treat a person. Because a lot of people don't know how to treat a person. You'll get a good thing and then you'll scare it away because you don't have the experience. You need experience, you need wisdom. So that's one very important thing that I want to communicate to the ladies. Maybe that's just like duh, nigga. Like maybe some of y'all already know that, but I know a lot of women don't. So I hope hopefully that's something that brings value to you. And this is my last point. When a man wants to be in a relationship with a woman, there will be no doubt in that woman's mind at all. Because there's other girls that's around always. Even if you don't think that there is, there's always some girls that are around, but they're around because they're placeholders. They're around because they're giving him something to do. They're allowing him to fulfill his needs while he's in constant pursuit of his dream and patiently waiting for the one to get here. Because there are certain women that a man will see her and he'll instantly tell himself, as long as her mind and her spirit is on point, that's the woman for me. Oftentimes with men, when we see a girl physically, attractive wise, we'll know immediately if her mind and her spirit is just as good as how I feel about her physically, she's the one for me. And usually what happens is you'll talk to her or you'll get a chance to experience her or you'll hear something about her and then you'll be like, okay, so this is not the girl. I got to keep looking. But for the most part, when a man sees a woman, he immediately knows. For the most part, I'm not saying everything is like this. I know this is not a one size fit all for all men or all women or all relationships. I know it's not. So, don't come for me. But what I'm saying is for the most part, when a nigga lay eyes on a woman, he know that's what he want. He knows that, oh, she's wife status. She's, I want to be with you and show you off to the world status, If you're that type of guy, because me personally, I'm a private guy. I'm not trying to show nothing off to the world. But for the most part, he knows. And if he has not made that clear to you, then you can feel comfortable and stop having these big dreams and these big ideas of something that could be when he's never actually shown you that that's how he feels about you. And you know what? Instead of being upset about that, instead of feeling away, be happy. Be happy because that makes it clear to you that let me protect my emotions by not getting too invested. Protect your emotions. If that man is not making that clear to you, then you do not need to try to force him to see something in you that he just doesn't see. Trust me, when he's ready to see that in a woman, he's going to see it. And if he doesn't see it in you, that just means that that's not the guy for you. You don't have to take it personal. Because there is a guy who will do anything for you. There's somewhere out there is a nigga who will drink your bath water, quite literally. Everything that you think might be weird about yourself, all the things that you might look in the mirror and be insecure about, and you say negative, pessimistic things to yourself, there is a man somewhere who is going to love every single piece of that. If that's not the guy that's with you right now, then baby, listen, do yourself a favor, be patient. I'm not even telling you to get rid of him, but what I am telling you to do is know your place. And your place should always be keeping yourself safe. If that man didn't tell you that he wants more from the relationship, do not expect more from the relationship. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy going out on dates because you got needs too. You want somebody to take you out. You want somebody to listen to you and talk on the phone for hours and somebody to pick up the bill. You want that. So if that's what he's willing to be for you, then allow that man to continue to be that. And in the back of your mind, this is not the guy, but it's the guy right now, and I'm okay with that. So the second thing that I want to talk about, one thing that I hear a lot of women say is that if he doesn't want to be my boyfriend, then why does he keep me around? Why does he keep me around? He keeps you around because you're a resource for him. Are y'all having sex? Do you listen to him when he's talking? Do you rub his shoulders? Do you give him something to do when he doesn't want to kick it with the guys? Do you go out on dates? Do y'all travel together? Do y'all cuddle together? Do y'all sleep together? Do you believe in him? Do you tell him affirming things about who he is? Do you encourage him while he's on this pursuit to chasing his dream or trying to build this legacy? If you're doing all those things, why would he let you go? Because you're a good woman. You have good qualities. You have good things about you. Because when you're out in the world and you dating as a man, for the most part, women are all body. For the most part, women are all physical convenience. It's very rare that you'll find a woman that truly stimulates you spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And if you are a woman who does that for him, that doesn't mean that you're the one, but it does mean that I got me a good one, and I don't want to let this one back just too soon. I want to hold on to this one because I know how hard it is to find a quality woman. And nobody wants to be alone at the end of the day, you know? Some people do good being by themselves, and being by yourself is, probably the best in a large majority of cases. But for the most part, while I'm looking for the one, I'll keep you around because I like your company. It feels good when you're around. You're beautiful. You like to have fun. You dance on me when we out in public. Um, you know, Maybe, the sex is great. You give me access to sex. You send me nudes. You send me naked pictures all the time. You completely fulfill all of my personal primal needs as a man. But there's a couple of things that's off that I probably will never tell you because my intention is to never hurt your feelings. And I don't mean to lead you on, or maybe I do. But as a man, I don't want to just flat out tell you why it'll never work with you because my intention is to never break your heart or to hurt you. So what I'll do instead is I'll just keep you around and I'll just continue being the guy that you like because you're looking for the guy of your dreams and you're not sure whether or not that guy is me. And I don't want to tell you because if I just tell you that I'm not the guy flat out, because I know I'm not the guy, but if I tell you that, then you're gonna leave. But if you leave, who gonna who gonna be giving me head? Who gonna be cooking my meals? Who gonna be cooking for the guys when I bring the fellas over? Who gonna be making drinks for us? Who gonna be um picking up the laundry and washing the dishes? Who gonna be going out on dates with me? So I can't tell you how I really feel about you because you're a resource for me. And having you around makes me feel good while I'm still constantly in pursuit of the girl. And that might sound cold, man. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. But I think that in this dating world, if you're gonna be grown, you just need to be grown. Like I told you, until that man has personally clearly told you that I want you to be my girlfriend, you should not have expectations of y'all's relationship moving into something more serious. It's been months. Not even that, because I think taking your time to see if a person is right for you is perfectly fine. It's been years. You've been dating somebody for years, and you're still not in a mutually exclusive relationship with that man. Baby girl, he don't see you like that. He probably got a lot of love for you though. He probably do love you, but he don't see you like that. Because trust and believe, the girl that he do see like that, he trying to expedite the process fast. What I want you to do is to not take that personal. What I want you to do is realize that it's actually not personal at all. He's surviving as a human being. As a human being, he is surviving. He is doing what he thinks is best so that he can continue to enjoy his life while he's in pursuit for the next level. It's like being at a job, right? Like he know he don't want to be at that job forever, but he's constantly working on his business plan. He's constantly working on how he's gonna get that promotion. He see himself being somewhere else. And in the meantime, he don't want to be in the trenches by himself. He want to be next to a warm body. He want to be holding hands with somebody. He wants to be keeping himself occupied with a person that he actually does admire, a person that he actually does like and respect and love spending time with. But he to you, you're not the girl. So he's going to keep you around because he hasn't found anything better. And I know that's harsh, but it's the truth. And the real question is, what are you going to do about that? Because if you can accept that, because you don't got to cut him off unless you just really like some nigga. If you're not the husband and I don't want no part of it, then hey, then that's your prerogative and do what's best for you. You know what's best for you. Do what's best for you. But, you know, That's life sometimes. And I want to communicate that to the ladies because sometimes y'all be digmatized, or sometimes you be so confused that you're not thinking clear anymore. I'm not trying to rat the guys out. I'm not trying to expose the secrets. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give the women more clarity on the ways and the things of why men do what they do so that you can make a better decision about what I need to do to keep myself safe. And before I get into my last thing, one thing that I want to say about women is women have a really bad job at believing what they want to believe. Women have a natural propensity to believe what they want to believe. You read text messages, you see things that aren't there. He tells you something, you hear something else, you get disappointed. I thought you said, when you said that I took it like this, or I thought by now he would think different. Listen, if that man told you that he's not looking for a relationship right now, he's not looking for a relationship. Do not take it upon yourself to think that you about to work your feminine magic and then maybe a couple months down the line, he gonna see things differently. You were setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure because you think that there's something you can do to change him. And let me tell you something. If you do change him, knowing that he told you that he doesn't want a relationship, and then later on you get him into a relationship, that is not the relationship that you want. You are settling. You think you're getting what you want as a woman because you made him change his mind, but you're actually settling because you want a man who knows what he wants already. Because a man who knows what he wants acts like he knows what he wants. And once he gets what he wants, he acts like he got what he wanted. You understand what I'm saying? If you're the girl that he wanted, then he's going to put in work to pursue you. Once he gets you, he's going to cherish the moment. He's going to celebrate your presence. He's going to celebrate having you around because he wanted you. But instead, what a lot of women are going to do is you're going to continue to sex him up, continue to love bomb him, continue to cook for him, continue to be there for him every single time. And you're gonna pray and hope and continue to use your powerful feminine energy to sway his mind. But you don't want him to come to your side that way. You want him to come to your side because that's the decision that he made, not because you overwhelmed him with so many good things that he eventually had to get to a place where he was like, you know what? Maybe this could be my girlfriend. That's not the type of relationship that you want. Nothing fruitful is going to come from planting seeds like that. Nothing fruitful. You want something that's going to grow for a lifetime, something that's going to keep y'all fed spiritually for an eternity. You do it when two equals meet and they understand the value of each other immediately. And by immediately, give some space for nuance because it's like sometimes it takes time to actually get to know a person, but it doesn't take years to decide if somebody wants to be your boyfriend. It doesn't take years. So stop believing what you want to believe. If that man tell you something, believe him because that makes you safe. It keeps you safe to believe him when he's talking to you instead of creating narratives in your mind. You talking to your friends, you looking at Instagram, you looking at Tumblr and Pinterest, and you watching YouTube and you seeing couples and you trying to put yourself in them. No, live for you and stop creating fantasies because the fantasies do not materialize into reality. Stop playing yourself, man, because at the end of the day, you're the only one who get hurt. You the one who get hurt, and then you on social media posting memes and posting cryptic messages on X talking about you were always the one. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve you. These men, they not shit. Yeah, sometimes they not, but you put yourself in position to be played. Now, where's your accountability for that? As a woman, where's your accountability for putting yourself in position to be played? And then something else women like to say is, oh, I wasted my time with him. I didn't force you to do anything. When you loved me, you loved it. When you loved me, you was having a good time. But now things ain't going your way. Now we've decided to go separate paths, and now you've wasted your time. That's such a weak loser's mentality because life is so beautiful, right? When people come into your life, it is a blessing. And sometimes people are not here for the long haul. Sometimes people are only here for a season. They're not here for the whole book cover to cover from page one to the end. That's not what they're here for sometimes. Neither are friends and neither are romantic relationships, platonically and romantically. Appreciate a person's presence in your life. And then when it's time to go, let them be. Unless they came through this motherfucker stealing your money, being a true narcissist to you, manipulating you, putting their hands on you, cheating on you, fucking your best friend, just some wild shit like that. Stop demonizing relationships that failed. It wasn't meant to be, but why wish that person any bad? It's a loser's mentality because there's no way to feel something about a person that you do not feel in your body. So when you feel that this person, like, oh, you wasted my time, you took my years from me, you feel like your years were taken. Nobody can take anything from you. There's only two ways you can lose time in this life: death and jail. And if you're not in jail and you didn't die, then that means you're still living and that means life is still very beautiful. You get what I'm saying? Like, the victim mentality doesn't help anybody blossom. It doesn't help anybody flourish. And you're collecting energy that's gonna probably not necessarily be gone by the time that another guy comes around. You might scare that nigga off because you're holding on to these war wounds from something that wasn't even war worthy. It wasn't even a battle. You didn't go through the trenches like that. You was fucking with this nigga and it didn't work out. Now it's time to move on. May peace be upon you. Move on. And the last thing that I want to talk about with the ladies is respect. Ladies, I know a lot of y'all can cook. Maybe a lot of y'all can't cook, but for the ones that can, some of you can cook. You do laundry, you rub his back, you support him, all these different things, right? You bring all these great qualities to your relationship with the man. But what I want you to do is remember, the most important thing you can do for a man is what he asked you for. Not everything you can do for him, but delivering him specifically what he asked you for. And I would say majority men ask for one thing specifically. Or let me speak for myself. More than anything, more than you being able to cook, more than you being able to clean, more than you doing any of the qualities that you think makes yourself such a catch. The most important thing you could ever give to a man is respect. Respect makes a man feel like you think he's the most important person in the world. Respect to a man makes him feel like you are loyal to him. Think about what loyalty feels like. Loyalty is a warm feeling. When you think about loyalty, for the most part, you think about people who are close to you. You think about your friends. You think about your family. You think about people that you love. Respect translates into love for men. When a woman respects a man and he feels respected by her, if he's a good man, there's nothing that he will not do for that woman because she makes him feel like he's important. And we live in a world where it is so hard for men to feel important because we place a lot of our value in our success and our accomplishments, the moves that we make, the levels that we climb, the ladders that we climb up to the levels that we want to be at. And a lot of good men are trying to create legacy, but legacy takes a lifetime. That's why it's legacy. So sometimes we don't really take the time to slow down and give ourselves flowers because we're only putting points on the board for the big accomplishments. And because of that, we deny ourselves of a lot of self-worth and a lot of self-love because we make ourselves believe that until I buy my mom a house, then I ain't shit. And we make ourselves believe that until I can pay my mom's rent or buy the house, until I can do things like this, then I haven't really made it. And that's such a unfortunate lie, but it is something that we have to work through. Sometimes, like, some of us are working through it and some of us will never get through that. But your respect makes us feel it's the instant gratification of love that we can receive in the moment. Respect your man. Respecting your man will keep you with your man if he's a good man. Some men get respect from women and they fuck it up, and I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that he took advantage of the precious gift of your respect because your respect is nothing to be stepped on. Your respect is nothing to be trivialized or unappreciated, unvalued. Shame on him for not treating your respect like a gift. But I want to encourage you to not be bitter because of what one man couldn't do for you, but to be encouraged to continue respect for the man who's worthy of it. When you respect a man, He'll die for you. He'll give you his last dollar. When a man feels respected by his woman, he doesn't even want to look at another woman. I don't care how attractive she is. I don't care how beautiful she is. She's not my girl. Because when I go home, my girl, she looks me in my eye and she holds my hand and she listens to me deeply and intently. And she makes me feel like I'm that nigga. Men are insecure sometimes too. You know, like if you going out in the world and you feeling like I'm not the most conventionally attractive man in the world, when your woman respects you, it's like you're not looking at yourself like what you're not. You're not looking at yourself in the mirror like, maybe I'm not 6'11", or maybe I'm not maybe I don't have an athletic build. You're not pulling away from yourself like what I don't have. You're seeing yourself like you're seeing yourself as I have more than enough because my woman believes in me. Women, your energy is so validating. Your energy is so powerful. If you green light it, it's lit. If you green light it, it's lit. And all you got to do is so let's get to it. Let's get to it. How do you respect your man as a woman? You listen to him when he talks. When you think about the boss of a company, a CEO, when he walks into the room, people stop talking. When he says something, people shut up and they hear what the boss got to say. Why? Because he keep the lights on. Because he's the reason why everybody in here got a job. You should feel the same way about your man. Now, I'm not saying this gives him the right to abuse power or to take advantage of you or manipulate you. But what I'm saying is that make your man feel like the boss. If there is another person in this world that is receiving all of your respect, receiving more respect than he is, then you're not respecting him and he's not going to be happy at the end of the day because his respect is always going to be in question. His respect is always going to be threatened because there's somebody else who she respects more than me. You can respect your man by doing what he asks you to do. Because now let me just say this. That is, of course, implying that he has earned your respect as a woman. If your man has earned your respect, then that means that you can trust him. Because it's hard to earn a woman's respect because it's a lot of goofy men out here who fuck it up for the good guys. So if you do love your guy, if you're with him, which hopefully you respect him if you're with him. If you don't respect your man and you with him, then why the fuck you with that nigga? Get rid of him. Get rid of him. And clearly it's not the right situation. But if you respect him, do what he asks you to do because that makes him feel good. It's like people in the bedroom. I live in New York City, so there's a big dom and sub culture here. And it's interesting to me that people know how to play the roles of being submissive to their man when it's sexual, when it's involving being in the bedroom. But what about when we in a grocery store? What about when we in the car? What about when we in the crib? We walking outside, we doing our thing. Like, keep that same energy because that energy makes him feel like the man. When he feels like a man, the best of his powers are at his fingertip. He can be the best person that he is. He can be confident. He can be concise. He can be diligent, disciplined, motivated, inspired, secure, because he feels respected. Respect is the most powerful thing that you could give to a man. And I don't think a lot of women actually know that. And so I'll share this with you in hopes to inspire you to pick up a couple of things that'll help you have a better relationship with men, a better experience with men. The whole reason why I'm doing this is because I would like to give women just the information that can lead them towards success, I'm not trying to yell at you. I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not trying to make you feel smaller than what you are. I'm just trying to inspire you to understand that there's a way to have a better experience with men. Some men just not shit. Some men are not worth your time, baby. That's just the real truth of the matter. You avoid those men. You hopefully have enough discernment or you find enough discernment to weave around those guys because they are a waste of time. But there are other men that are waiting for you and they're ready to be the man that you need them to be. And when you find that man, remember these things. Remembering these things will increase your success with men. That's pretty much what this episode is about. I'm trying to help women increase their success with men. Yeah, that's it. That's it. This is a little different than what I usually do. I'm trying to shake it up. I'm still trying to find the voice of this podcast. I don't really want to be tied down to any particular one subject or topic. I want to talk about everything that I think is important to me, everything that pertains to me. And, you know, as a man who loves women, this is something that is important to me, talking to women and having good conversations with women and having conversations with women that could leave them with something that they can think of and hopefully you can share with your friends. And, if you disagree with anything I said, please holla at me, send me a DM. Let's talk about it. I'll come on the show. We could talk about it. But I want to encourage you to try not to be triggered by the things that I'm saying because I promise you that it's coming from a good place. And if you cannot be triggered by what I'm saying, because I promise you I do not mean to attack you, then I think that you could really pull some meaningful wisdom from this. And that's all I want to do. So, with that being said, as always, whenever I'm working, I will remember that done is better than perfect. And if I'm satisfied with my work, then I'm living in my purpose, man. Halfway up.